Good evening. Good evening. How you doing out there? This is Mike back with Soberheadz, One Day at a Time podcast, episode 23. Tonight I got a very special guest that I knew for a few years now, man. A good brother that I seen him in the beginning of his sobriety journey, man, and I wanted him to come on tonight to tell you all this story. And we're gonna get into some Q&A stuff, man. I want to introduce everybody to my man Tony. How you doing, Tony?
Good, brother. How you doing?
Blessed, man. Blessed, man. Just blessed to have you on here, man. So how you been lately, man?
I've been well, brother. I've been well. A lot better than I was when you first saw me.
Indeed, man. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there, man. So let's take it back to the beginning, man. How was it growing up?
Growing up was cool, man. You know, middle class family. You know, I was into sports, basketball, baseball, fishing, normal stuff. Right up until my dad passed away. That's when things took a change. So,
and where did you grow up at?
Springfield, Massachusetts.
Oh yeah, I told you I used to come up there for that basketball tournament.
Yeah, for the basketball Hall of Fame.
Hoop hall. Yes. Yeah. Now take me back to that moment when you picked up your first drink. Why and when did it happen?
It was, well, I was always drinking, but I was a light drinker right up until my father passed away in 2000. When he passed away February 1st, 2000, that's when it really started to pick up.
Take us back to that moment and like what was going through your mind and what did the alcohol do for you at that moment?
Well, it was really, I don't want to say a challenging experience. It was a hurtful experience, but it was other things that came along with that, with family members. So that pushed it even deeper. So, you know, so I started drinking and it was 2-3 shots a day. And then, like I told you before, I'm in the Masons and I'm also a Shriner. So every weekend it was out partying, drinking, having a good time. And pretty much it just took over.
When did you notice that this might be an issue?
3 years ago when I came in to Pennsylvania. I had got up that morning. I was supposed to have been taking my grandson freshwater fishing. And I got up that morning, DDTs. I was shaking, just out of it. Normally I would bring a bottle upstairs, have it next to the bed. So when I woke up, I wouldn't be sick. I wouldn't be going through all of that, but I left it in the car. So that day I went downstairs. I was shaking like a leaf and my mom was there. She called me in the room. I didn't have a choice but to go in. So she saw me. So she was like, well, what's going on with you? And I was like, nothing. I'm good. So I knew I had the bottle in the car. So when I got out there, grabbed the bottle, grabbed the cup, my hands were shaking so much I couldn't pour it. So I had to set it on the armrest. Had to set it down on the armrest, put my mouth on the bottle, turn it up. 4 or 5 good shots later, I was back to what I call normal. It wasn't normal, but I wasn't shaking. I wasn't doing all of that. Went in the house, got the fishing poles, came back out, popped the trunk. I had another full half gallon in the trunk ready for the day. And to me, that was it. I was like, I'm good. I can't do this anymore.
Now, leading up to that last episode before you had came down to PA, how did this affect your job, your relationships, and things of that nature up to that point before you came down to PA?
It really didn't. And we had this conversation when I was in rehab, and I told you, I said, I'm not made like everybody else. Like some of the questions said, you know, how did you feel stealing from your family members? And I said, no. I walked out the door, got my car, drove to the store. You know?
Yeah, man, you talked about that. Yeah.
And then the next question was, how did you feel about hiding your problem from people? I never hid. I brought it home, set it on the table. When it was empty, I went and got another one, set it back on the table. So it was never a thing where I was hiding and keeping it away from people. I was a very, very good functional alcoholic. I went to work every day. I did all the things that I was supposed to do. But it was just catching up.
Indeed. I can relate to that, man. I remember like for years before it got bad with me after everything happened with my wife. But before that, it was like I just used to go to work, do what I had to do. Never drunk at work, never went to work drunk or anything like that. You get what I'm saying? But when I got off, I loved the party.
Right.
And after when that situation happened, the partying turned into something totally different. Then now I'm trying to escape. Now I'm trying to escape what I'm dealing with. You get what I'm saying? So now the whole drinking takes a whole nother method. You know what I'm saying? But up to that point, if you didn't know, you didn't know. That people that knew me, you get what I'm saying? You had to be really, really inside my circle to really know what I had going on. Because I had my job and stuff, and I had the basketball company going on. So if you wasn't really in the circle like that, you didn't really know what I had going on because I was really big on my image. And I had to be because my basketball company was with kids. You know what I'm saying? So I had to be really big on my image. Go ahead.
Correct. And like I said, being a fully functional alcoholic, you would see me doing the stuff that I was supposed to do every day, like being with the Masons, marching in the parades. I'd have a Dunkin' Donuts cup in my hand. It wasn't no coffee in there. It was vodka and cranberry juice all day long. So, you know, that's the way it rolled. But I considered it functioning and doing what I was supposed to do. So, you know, then it got to a point where my body was just, hey.
Out of all of this time, now you being sober and looking back at that time, do you feel that any of it affected your relationship with your family, like being neglectful, not being at certain events, not giving them enough attention or things of that nature?
Not really. I think we had this conversation. You know, I've been divorced. I've been divorced twice. And the reason I got divorced was when my father got sick, I came back to take care of him. So she didn't want to move here. So she ended up leaving. So my family was more important. So, you know, if that's what you wanted, then that's fine with me. So she went on. And then it came down to, I told you, I had my mom. She's 90, she'll be 92. January 4th. I had her back then, and when I was in rehab, my aunt was 94. I had her here. She was blind, so I had both of them.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, when I came back, I went to Georgia and picked up my aunt and brought her back to Springfield. So my second wife didn't want to move in to take care of both of the elderly people, which, you know, that's your own choice, and it is what it is. So so that's the way that rolled, and I just been moving ever since. So doing what I have to do.
So when you was on your way down to Daybreak, what was your expectations going through your mind of the place? And when you got there, did it meet your expectations? Like, what was you thinking about when you was on your way down there? Like, how was this situation gonna be? That was your first time doing it, right?
First time.
Yeah.
Like I told you before, I said, you know, I didn't come in here to sit here and go through everything. I said I just needed to come and get my reset button pressed so I could get back to reality. So when I was in there, you know, going to the classes, doing everything, you know, it just made me think about everything that I was doing, everything that was going on, you know. But like I said, being a functional alcoholic is different because I was working as a correctional officer, and I got hurt. After I got hurt there, I went back to culinary school, became an executive chef. So I was
I remember you used to be cooking that food at the crib. I remember you.
Yeah.
I remember they used to be over there cooking. You and the other young boy that used to be there. Y'all used to be stepping it up over there. I remember that, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, but when I first decided to go, I knew I needed to go. I knew that I couldn't do it anymore by myself. So I didn't know what to expect. And when I first got there, I stayed in my room for 4 days. I was sick for 4 days. Couldn't come out the room, couldn't do anything, you know. When I finally came out, they was like, "Oh, you must be Buns. We've been looking for you. We ain't seen you. You've been here." I was like, "Bro, I was hurting." So, you know, but once I came around and came out of it, then, you know, everything was good. All around, my reset button was pressed. I appreciate all that you did for me, all the other people did for me, and I wouldn't be where I am right now, honestly and truly, if it wasn't for you guys.
Yeah, man. But you had to be willing, brother. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? God placed us there, but you had to be willing. You know what I'm saying? Like you had to be willing to want to do it. You know what I mean? Because I was a lot to deal with. I'm gonna be pressing the buttons. We're gonna be talking in group. I'm gonna be coming to your crib afterwards, seeing if you want to go to the meetings. You had to be willing to want to do it. You get what I'm saying? Like I had that hunger for the recovery at that time. You know what I'm saying? I still got it, but it was like, let's go. You get what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And the way that it is, if you don't have your mindset to, I'm ready to stop. I can't do this to myself no more. I'm done. If you don't have that mentality, you can go to rehab over and over and over and over again, and it's not going to do nothing for you, because you pretty much, like I told you, when I was in rehab, a lot of the people, and I know you saw it, a lot of the people weren't in there to stop drinking. They were in there because some of them were forced to come in there. Some of them, charges that they had to get off. So things like that. Mine was just me, myself. I got to go correct me, because I can't take care of nobody else if I'm not right.
That's amazing. Did you always have that strength of self-awareness and knowing how to be assertive? Because a lot of people need somebody else to tell them they got to go. Some people need their wives got to divorce them. Their family got to say you can't be around us no more. A lot of people need that push. You get what I'm saying? That ultimatum. And
it's strange. It's strange because, like I told you, everything was different for me.
Like,
I never had issues with my family. I never had issues with my jobs. I went to work. I did what I had to do. But while I was at work, trust me, it was some vodka and cranberry juice in a cup, some kind of cup. And while I'm cooking, and it was always, it was just there. So, when we was riding, when I was working at the prison, we would go to work. I have in my trunk, I have half a gallon of vodka in the trunk with some cranberry juice and some beers on ice. It was liquid lunch. When I come out for lunch, then I go back to work. And it was always, but I was always at work. I did what I had to do. I wasn't missing functions. Family functions or anything like that. I was always at the functions and always present. So,
That's dope. I know for me, when it was time to, I thought I might have a problem, it was hard for me to stop at first because I couldn't picture life without it. You get what I'm saying? Like I couldn't picture going places, going watching games, like Super Bowl games, going to parties, going to cookouts, I didn't have the mindset of I can really enjoy life without having this, because I had did it for so long that it became a part of me, where like when people used to ask me, did I want to come to a party or this, I wanted to know where they was going to be drinking at. You get what I'm saying? Like I wanted to know, it was it alcohol there? Was we allowed to bring alcohol there? I remember going on vacations. I would never even schedule a resort if it didn't have a nice swim up bar. Like if you ain't got no swim up bar, I'm not even coming to your joint. You get what I'm saying? Like, so my life was centered around alcohol. I didn't realize it at the time, but every place I went, it had to have it. Or I didn't see that I could have a good time. Did you experience anything like that?
When I first got out and I went to my first shrine event, and this is what I said, you have to have a strong group of people around you to keep you from falling back, and being in the Masons and the Shriners, that's what they do. So when you go to the hotel and you check in on a Friday night, you got a hospitality in nearly every room that the brothers are in. So every room you walk in, there's 40, 50 bottles of liquor sitting up on the tables, and it's just flowing like water. So you in the rooms and you walking around, you drinking and you doing everything, which is cool. And when I went to my first event, I was like, I don't know how I'm going to react to this, how I'm going to be around this stuff. But the brothers was there, and if they see me going towards the bar, yeah, what you doing, man? What you get ready to do? I'm going to get a ginger ale, bro. That's it. Or they would get it and bring it to me, so I didn't have to go up there to the bar.
That's dope.
So I had a good background around me that was looking out for me and making sure that I wasn't slipping back into that process again. So,
yeah, because that is very tough to, like, I know for me, but once I got it and I had that why, that sense of urgency, God gave me that gift of desperation where I went to rehab and I was like, I got to do anything I need to do to get sober. You know what I'm saying? How long did it take you once you came home from Daybreak to be comfortable being sober?
maybe a month, maybe a month, because being in rehab, I didn't have a vehicle. You can't go where you want, do the things that you want to do, But one thing that stuck in my head, when I first got to rehab and I was sick in the room and I was saying, what have I done to myself? I'm like, this is crazy. This is crazy. It's absolutely nuts that I'm going through this. And, being in a house full of strangers that you don't know somewhere, and you sit there and you say to yourself, bro, you did this to yourself. You can't be mad at nobody else. But the humbling thing is that when you in there and then you looking at all this stuff and you saying to yourself, man, I never do this to myself again.
Yeah.
No. And then,
Yeah.
like I said, a revolving door, going back into rehab, going back and back. I said, no, we had the conversation and you asked me how was I sure. And I said, no, just like I said, I needed my reset button pressed. The button's pressed now. So now it's time to move forward and keep it going. So I keep
Yeah.
myself pretty much. I still got my cooler in the car, but I keep ginger ales and Gatorades in there now. So.
I like that. I remember you used to tell me about the cooler. How has your life changed on a day to day?
I feel healthier. I move better. Then you sluggish and you in a fog, and you just making it through the day, thinking of when I'm gonna get this next drink. How can I do this? But for me, working, being an executive chef, the liquor was always there. So, the bar was in the room. So, you'd ask one of the waitress, hey, bring me a shot. And they would go get it and bring it to you. So it was always there to that point where, I never had to worry about it, or it be in the car for my ride home, because it was an hour to get to work, an hour to get home. So I always had it. So, but once I got there, seeing the other people and the things that they were going to, listening to their stories, and I said to myself, I was not that bad. I caught myself where I said, I got to get myself straight because I can't do this. And then seeing the other people is humbling. It's humbling to see them going through what you're going through, trying to deal with it. But each person has their own field that they got to go through and get to the journey and where they're going. So I just thank God that I've made it through, brother. Like I said, without you having the conversations with me every day, sending me the text messages every day, and like I told you, that helps. That helps. And I told you then, you told me, you mentioned that you feel like people didn't appreciate when you were sending them text messages. I look forward to them every morning. When I wake up in the morning, that's what I need to see. That's what I need to look at to keep me focused and motivated to keep saying, no. And like I said, I take care of my mom. My mom's early Alzheimer's, early dementia. I get cussed out just for coming downstairs, bro. So like I said, if I was still drinking, there's no way I could have done this. I couldn't
Look at the Most High, man. He got you right.
Yes.
Right before the most time when you needed it. You know what I'm saying? Now she can depend on you to be there for her, man. You know what I mean? That's
yes. And that's what they say, when you're born, you're a baby, then you go through puberty, adolescence, and then you become an adult, and then it just turns around and starts going in reverse until you get back down to a baby. She's down to the baby stages right now. And, a lot of people say, I applaud you, because I couldn't do this. I couldn't just be there taking care of my mom, cleaning her and all of this stuff. Man, it's not a problem for me. I mean, it's rough. It's not easy. It's days when I sit back and think, whew, it'd be nice if I had a drink right now, but then my senses kick in and be like, nah, that's not gonna help nothing. It's gonna make things worse. And and like I said, I have a good group of people around me. So if I just get stressed and aggravated, I'll call one of them. They'll come pick me up just to get me out and calm me down and talk to me. And get me focused right where I need to be. Because, like I said, bro, when I told you when I was in there, I said, no, I'm not coming back here no more. I'm not.
I know, and that's so like, that's what I'm saying. You was on point, and you got a gift, because I didn't do it right my first time. I went in the first time and I was drinking more than a pint a day, right? Now, as soon as I heard somebody was drinking a half gallon, I'm like, I ain't like him. You get what I'm saying? Like, I start comparing myself. Then I hear somebody else say they drinking hand sanitizers, the hairspray, and I'm like, man, I don't belong here, man. Then some other guy was like, he drinking, he asked me, what do I drink in the morning? And I'm like, man, I don't drink in the morning. Then I'm like, y'all don't belong here, but I really did. You get what I'm saying? But it didn't click in me. Like, I was goofing off in group, playing around, disturbing the groups. You know what I'm saying? Just being a clown, smoking, just going out on the smoke breaks, laughing, joking, because I knew that I was going to drink again. And I told myself, I don't have an alcohol problem. I'm only here because my wife got murdered and I need therapy. You know what I mean? So once I put that inside my head, I cut off my ability to learn. I didn't want to go to AA meetings. I wanted to go to NA meetings. I wanted to hear the stories. I wanted to hear the drug stories. I'm sitting there like I wanted to be entertained. And they told me, they was like, when you come back again, you're going to be drinking twice as much. And I laughed at them, bro. And when I went back 4 years later, bro, I was drinking more than a fifth a day, bro. You get what I'm saying? Like they told me, bro. They told me. So what you did was to be able to do it on your first time in, God was with you, brother.
Yeah. Well, that day, I called both my sons and I said, I'm going to check in. And they was like, Dad, you keep saying this all the time. So I popped the trunk. I said, my bags is right there. I said, I don't want to check in Springfield. So I drove down to Rhode Island. So when I got to Rhode Island, they told me, they said, well, only thing we have here is NA for heroin. And I said, no, I said, I just drink. That's it. So he was like, well, how do you feel about traveling a little bit? So I'm thinking 30, 40 minutes, something like that. He was like, we got a flight out to Pennsylvania. And I was like, when? He was like, tonight. I was like, nah, we ain't gonna do that tonight because I got business. I got to take care of my paperwork. And it wasn't paperwork. I still had that half gallon in the back there. And so
we all do it, bro. We all do it.
And I said to myself, when I finish this is it for me. So I left enough in the bottle because I knew when I woke up in the morning that I was going to have the DDTs and be shaking and everything else. So as soon as I opened my eyes, that's what I did. I took a drink, calmed, shaking down and everything. I got up, took a shower. My girl brought me to the airport and dropped me off, bro. And that's what I said. My mind was already made up, so it wasn't, no, I'm going to change my mind and I'm not going to do it. And I was like, nah, because I got too much. I got grandkids and I got my mom, my aunt to take care of, make sure they all right. So I said, everybody's depending on me, and I can't do this in the in the position that I'm in right now because so, yeah.
I got a similar story, bro. I'm at my cousin's house right before I went there, right? I had the night before I had tried to go to this other D-Tabs called Aerotech. It's in Florida. It was crazy looking. I was like, I can't be here. I want to go back to the same one I went to last time. I want to go to Sunrise. Then I want to go to Ocean Breeze. So I called them the next morning. Ocean Breeze, Sunrise opens at 9 o'clock. I called them like 8:50, 8:58, something like that. They like, hello. I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, they said, we're going to be there and get you in 15 minutes. I didn't know how close I didn't know they was that close to me. Right. So I'm like, I said, nah, I need like an hour and a half. I got to pack. So now all my stuff already packed. Bro, my cousin had bad cabinets with just alcohol in it. I just went in the cabinets and just started because I knew it was over. I just started pouring everything in the cups. I wasn't even using no chaser, nothing. I just started drinking all this stuff because I knew it was over. As soon as I got in that car, I said, it's over. You know what I mean? Because you feel it. Because you feel when you know that's it. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Yeah. How do you handle now people, places, and things?
Good. I find that I have more tolerance for people now that I'm not drinking, because, you know, back then I was a hothead, short-tempered, you know, just so yeah, I noticed that I was more calm, more collective, and I would think about things before I would react or say anything. Like as before, it was coming out. Whatever came to my mind was coming out. Right? You know.
Now, how you cautious about being in certain places and doing some of the things you used to do? How do you use caution when it comes to that?
Pretty much my mindset, because, you know, I made up my mind. I'm not drinking, and I go. At first, I was leery, and I didn't want to go out and do the things that I used to do. But being in the Masons and the Shrine, you have to go places. So, you know, you go out, and 90% of it is drinking. So, you know, but like I said, you know, the fellas look out. They keep an eye on me. You good? You all right? Yeah, I'm good, bro. So, you know, I got a good surrounding, and they keep me focused, keep me grounded. So that's a good thing.
What are some of the challenges that you have that have occurred in your life since you've been in sobriety?
Basically, just taking care of my mom. And and it's a conversation that I had with my mom, and we spoke on it. And I said, most kids wouldn't do this. And I said, you know, and this is why I had to go get myself right, because there's no way I could have did this drinking and being the way that I was, because then my mindset wouldn't be like it is right now. And, you know, with dementia comes, you get cussed out for no reason, called all kind of names, and you get accused of stuff. And then the next 20 minutes, they don't remember none of that. So, you know, it's kind of tough. So, you know, I tell, you know, and my mom said, you know, you just crazy. That's what's wrong with you. I said, you know what? It actually takes a crazy person to deal with dementia, because if you're not, a sane person can't deal with this stuff, because it's something new every day, and it's different. And then, you know, she'll have a full-fledged argument with you, call you all kind of names, and in the morning, I didn't say none of that. Why are you lying on me?
Yeah, so it takes
then
a lot.
It becomes a factor where am I losing my mind? Am I crazy? You know, you start to question yourself, but you know it's not. So, you know, but that's, like I said, it takes a lot to do this. And like I said, I had two. I had a 95-year-old that was blind, plus my mother was 89 back then, and she couldn't walk.
Look at the Most High looking down on you, brother, smiling.
Yes.
Like, look at my son. Look at my son. How long did it take before your sons and your mom, before the dementia kicked in, to say that they saw a difference in you?
As soon as I left, because they saw it on my face when I called both of my sons over there, and I said, yo, I'm going to check in. And they were like, no, you're not. You keep saying this. And I said, no, I'm going. Seriously. I said, I got my stuff packed, and I'm actually going to check in today.
I'm talking about when you came home.
And when I came home?
Yeah, and it was the sober you. Did they ever tell you, like, they see a totally different person in you?
My younger son said that, you know, you're not as wild as you used to be, Dad. You more you just mellowed out a little bit. So, you know, but as far as anything bad, no.
So you was like me. We just used to want to party and have fun. That's how I was. I was the same way. Just wanted to party and have fun, crack jokes and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't no wanting to fight and do it. That wasn't my thing. I just wanted to party and have fun, man.
Right, you know? Right. And like I said, you know, working at the prison, so it wasn't a money factor. So it wasn't like I was out stealing and doing none of that stuff. I'd go get it. When it run out, I go get another one. and the thing it was, being around the brothers, you know, if you walk in with a bottle and they sitting there and they sipping off of your bottle and the bottle's gone. They're going to get another one before that one's gone.
Yeah.
So that's how the night progresses. So, it'd be nights where I might not get home.
Yeah. I remember those kind of nights. How was your
Nights where you running from New York to Rhode Island and back, it just constantly like it's no problem, like it's around the corner. Those are the things that we did,
You know what I mean? How did you how did you how did your relationship with God improve once you got into your sobriety?
It improved a lot because when you drinking, Lord, I'm not gonna drink again. Just let me get over this hangover. I don't want to be sick no more. As soon as this is over, that's it. I'm not drinking no more. You telling these stories and you right back at it as soon as you open your eyes up. So it's just following through with the things that you say you're gonna do. See, back then I would say a lot of things. I had no intentions of doing them, no intentions of following through, but I would say it, and people were like, well, you said this and you were supposed to. I said, yeah. That was the other me. Yeah.
All right, brother, in closing, if you were sitting in front of somebody that was struggling. No, I got one more question that before closing. It's kind of wrapped up the same. How do you witness to family members or people, close friends that might have this same problem? How do you communicate it with them?
I sit down and usually because going through this, it's a tough situation to deal with, and it's not easy. Some people don't know how to talk. They don't know how to express themselves and say the things that they need to say. So when I sit down and talk to a person, I tell them all right off the rip, listen, if you're not believing what you're saying and that you're gonna stop, if you're just saying something to make other people's believe that, you gotta believe it. You can't just say something. It doesn't matter to the other people because they still gonna keep doing their lives and doing what they have to do, and you still gonna be stuck in the same spot that you in while they living their lives doing what they doing. So in all actuality, you can't lie to yourself. You got to be true to yourself. And when you say, I have made a decision that this is something that I no longer want in my life and I'm not going to do this, but I know I can't do it by myself. So I know I'm going to need help. So I know that I'm going to need God to help me. I'm going to need counselors to help me to get me where I need to go. But you can't stop there. You got to put it in your mindset that once I get here in this position and get myself out of this, I'm not going to let myself fall back into that position where I'm in here doing it again. Because I said to myself, I when I was in rehab, I looked at the situation. I'm in here, some of the people that were in there were, not the cleanest people, So you watching this in an environment, and then you saying to yourself, this is what you did to yourself. This is where you put yourself. So you can't blame nobody but yourself. Just like you can't come out of this situation until you are ready to accept the fact that my name is Tony and I'm an alcoholic. That when I first said them words, those were the strangest words to me because I was in denial.
I feel you.
I was in denial. Being a functional alcoholic is different than a sloppy drunk that's laid out all the time. And you get drunk every day just to pass out. I got drunk to deal with life, to get through the day. Because I know when I get home from work, I got a sick mom at home and I got to take care of her. Once you leave work, you still got a whole full day to go. And it's not sleeping, so you drinking more to keep moving and doing what you got to do. So, but once you set it in your mind and say, hey, I'm not worried about nobody else outside of me. Yeah, I got to convince myself. And once you convince yourself and you believe in yourself, and I can't say that works for everybody, but that's what worked for me. For me to say, yo, this is not you. this is not how you live. So, being drunk, just like I said, I wouldn't miss work. I wouldn't miss functions or anything like that. But some of them functions you be at, you don't remember. You don't remember nothing about them. Then you be like, what happened? Oh, I don't remember.
I never experienced blackout before, which is probably kind of a gift and a curse. It was a gift that I never had I never did nothing that I didn't remember, but it was kind of a curse that I remembered everything because it made me want to do it again. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was like, yo, last night was lit. I want to do it again, like that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, in closing, I remember I had this moment before, and I'm asked, did you have it? You're home, you at a function, you sober, and you looking at everybody that's blasted, and you saying to yourself, damn, that's how I used to look.
It's funny that you say that. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people, and I actually asked that question. When I'm out with people, I was like, that's what I used to look like. Yeah, I was doing stuff like that. It was like, yeah.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? You like, yo, they just repeat the same thing over again. They like laughing at stupid stuff, and they just keep telling the same story, and you like,
yeah. And then you say to yourself,
me?
that was me. And this, when you sit back and you think about it, it's not pretty, it's not cute, bro. And that's what I say, thank God that I came out and got back to normal where I needed to be. But back then it was just party central.
Indeed.
Party central.
Indeed. All right, T, man, this was a blessing, man. I'm glad you came on. You guys helped me just as much as I was helping y'all when I was working at Daybreak, man. Y'all made it fun to come to work, man. The groups used to be intense, and just keeping in touch with you guys and seeing how you guys are some of you are staying on your sobriety road, man. It's a testament to God, man. And I want to thank y'all for from the bottom of my heart for helping me jumpstart my sobriety also, because that was my first job once I came out of rehab and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I want to thank you, brother.
And I want to thank you as well, right here on the air, because without you, I wouldn't be where I am right now. And one thing that I would like to say to you is, you said, I felt that I wasn't reaching people, like nobody cared that I was sending out them text messages in the morning. Don't ever doubt yourself, sir. Don't ever doubt yourself, because you have helped. You have helped, and you continue to help a lot of people. And I am most preciously, honestly grateful for you, my brother.
All right, good. Thanks for coming on, brother. I'll talk to you later, Tom. I love you.
Yes, sir. Have a good one. Love you too, brother.
All right, no doubt, man. The brother Tony, man, it was one of the clients when I first was working at Daybreak, and we had a ball over there, man. And to see these brothers still fighting the battle to stay sober, man, is such a blessing, man. This is Mike. This has been another episode of Soberheadz podcast. See you guys next week. We'll have another guest on. I'm trying to get some other people that was in the rehab over there with me, and stay tuned because we just getting started. Enjoy the rest of your night. Shalom. Good job, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That was dope, man.
Yeah, that's what I said, man. Everything was different for me, man. It wasn't.
I know, but what you did was dope, though. You caught that joint. A lot of people don't catch it till it's too late. They be like, full grown. I remember I was in the joint and the chick was like, the dude was like, what was your what you used to drink? I said Ciroc. He was like, what was your bottom alcohol? I was like, that's all I drank was Ciroc. He was like, what? I said, yeah, I never did like those fake vodkas, and I was like you when I didn't have no more Ciroc. I just went to the store and I got more Ciroc. Like,
got it. It kept it moving. Yes.
So I understood exactly what you were saying when you said that, man. Like, yes. I never, like, it was just, and that's why sometimes having the bread could be an enabler.
Yeah, it does.
Because it never runs out, bro.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I said, that for me, because like I had a full half gallon in the front seat. And I opened the trunk and had another phone in there, and I was like, "You were already planning for this one to be gone?" I was like, "Nah." So, but I do appreciate everything, man, and being on